how
Oh,
him
so
and
it's
her
come back up.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's like,
You
because it
can't.
now seems like okay, you're covering your in quotes your debt of 20 million
It's
with
not a
a
debt.
gift
There's
of
no entitlement.
why would you say it's not a
It's
debt
not a
though?
debt.
No,
If
please it's a
I no,
debt.
it's
I
not.
insist that I
It is
insist.
not because it's just a goodwill of trying
Okay,
to
and now that he did do it, we should not hold
he
him.
does
That is
he
not
hasn't said
fair.
he's not going to do it.
That is
Davido
not
is known
fair.
for his good.
1 year later.
He doesn't
Please,
still matter.
please,
And,
Idahams.
and for that fan, he said it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Someone having Davido's picture all over his
Yeah.
tricycle. I don't think it was. That is love. Like
No. It is love. It is love. But I'm
so
saying that
much love.
if you see a lot of the yellow buses and the whatever, there's a lot of what's it
No, it's
called?
not like
It's not like
what
this
that
one. I
guy
agree. No, yes, that's what I agree. Yes. In terms of the degree, yes. That is true.
Wow. I remember one of the Big Brother contestants back in the day had a tattoo of him on her chest. I don't know if she still has it, but
Who of Davido?
yes.
Yeah, Tasha.
This was Tasha, right?
That's
Back
Tasha.
in the day. Who knows?
Fan love.
Yeah, fan love.
Yeah, but yeah, Davido seems to be, at least locally, he seems to be someone who, what's the word now? Generates this amount of love from fans. I think of the big three, I think it's probably the most in quotes, very much in quotes, loved.
Okay.
In the streets at least, it looks like Davido has something going for him.
I think
with
people
the
always say
people.
he gives back and he tries to mentor young people, gives them opportunities. I've heard people say that.
Yeah, I
on
mean,
social
I don't
media.
know about the mentor bits, but yeah, but his acts of kindness are quite publicized, unlike the
Think
others.
about that, Idahams. You're an artist. Do you have your fans give you this excess amount of love sometimes?
Of course.
Does anyone have a tattoo of you yet?
No, not yet. Nah.
That is next level.
Nah,
Next
nah,
level.
nah,
That's
yeah,
next
yeah,
level.
yeah,
Where you
yeah.
need to get to is
Yeah,
the
but-
level
but-
where people are like,
Yeah.
All right, and superstars, Nigerian superstars. So you know what? Maybe we should just put some respect on the names and say international superstars. Wizkid and Thames won big at the NAACP Image Awards. Thames and Wizkid got these major award wins alongside the vets like Beyonce. So Thames received an award for her hit song "No Woman No
that's a
Cry."
hit song though. Okay, but I hear you.
Or is it too early?
No, but it's no now. But let's say the truth. Now. It's not a hit song. That seems like you're overstating it. No, it's not a hit
Oh
song.
my goodness.
That's not a hit song. I
Okay,
mean,
it was from Black Panther.
exactly. Which was a
Yes.
hit movie. I agree. By the way,
So it's a hit movie, not a hit song.
Exactly, not a hit song. Hit movie. I agree.
Okay, and Wizkid actually won the NAACP award for Outstanding Duo, Group, or Collaboration on the Chris Brown "Call Me Every Day."
That song that kind of was popular on online for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, just not to cause some
You can
kind of
call that one a
controversy.
hit, yeah?
You know what they say. I was saying, I think last week, or 2 weeks ago, about the nature of the Grammys won by Thames,
Versus
Whiskey,
Burna.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So once again, we are in that same space again where it is not a Whiskey song.
Okay, he was featured.
Exactly, it's a Chris Brown song. I mean, this is no shade or anything, but let's just say what it is. It's a collaboration song, and it's a Chris Brown song actually, not a Whiskey song. So there's still that one more step needed to get to the promised land. Let's just put that out there.
All right, so Beyonce won Outstanding Soul R&B Song for Cuff It. I mean, with the amount of videos that people did dancing to that song, it definitely had to. And Rihanna got the Outstanding Music Video and Visual Award for Lift Me Up. And Thames walked away with the Outstanding International Song, No Woman, No Cry.
Yeah. Zibby, wait now.
I didn't say anything.
I don't like how you're eyeing me. I don't like how
I
you're eyeing
didn't
me.
say anything.
The thing is, before today, or rather before this particular bit, did you know about the NAACP awards?
Excuse you?
I'm just saying.
Maybe
My
you
point
didn't,
is,
but I
no.
did.
No. Okay,
For years.
maybe you can say that, yes. Well, the fact of the matter is, nobody remembers who won it last year. I don't. Exactly, So it's not one of the big facts.
Wow, kind
It
of
actually
American
is
awards.
for African Americans because it's
Well, it's not
specifically for
now.
them.
Look,
No,
this is
the
the issue with this.
NAACP awards are very significant for African Americans because for a lot of them, they were never going to get the mainstream awards, whether it was for their music or for their acting.
Yeah, but that is the problem. That's
Why is that
exactly the
problem?
problem. It's like saying that if there was, do you think, for instance, if in Nigeria we had like I'm sure they probably exist by the way, the Southeastern Awards, would it be as relevant as the Headies? No. You know,
That
because
would-
it's particular for one particular, it's because it's for a particular region.
And
So the
that's
point I'm trying
why.
to make here is that
Mhm.
look, it's the award might be significant, but that's like that's something more historical than practical.
I don't think I agree, because some
How about the
people would
BET Awards?
say
How about the BET
some
Awards?
people now BET Black Entertainment used to be Black
Aha,
Entertainment, but these
let's see.
days the people who sit on the board are on the black. So I'm not too sure
Well,
of the
the company
direction that
has-
the BET is
anyway.
going right now.
It has always been white in nature, but fair enough.
But when you think about it, if black people felt that they weren't getting the recognition that they needed, it's like Ebony, the magazine. So black artists were not getting into the mainstream magazines that people were buying. And black people said, you know what? We have our own black celebrities. Let's do something to give them the same recognition that their white peers are getting.
Let me explain that. Let me explain the difference between that. It's always going to be nothing survives, no award body survives because of what it is. It's because of who wins it.
Okay.
You understand? And how much what's the word now? Credibility they give to that particular platform. Like I just said, I don't think anybody sings any song where they mention how they won I don't know, 5 NAACP awards. Do you understand? You hear it for the Oscars, you hear it for the Grammys you get, you just never hear it for them. So my point is, even among the black community, they understand that, oh, this is nice to have. However, it is not what we are dreaming of having when we are kids.
Yeah.
Everybody's giving this, is giving like a small speech in their house,
think
holding
for-
something, you know, because they say, oh, the Grammys you get. Nobody talks about the
I think for
NAACP
black
awards.
people, particularly in an era where there was segregation, where they weren't even
Historical, again,
avoided.
not practical, like I said.
No, but you cannot move past history, because history is what leads
The
to where
Grammys
we are.
started in 1959.
And how many black
And
people were invited to the Grammys? How many black
Do you
people were
know-
invited to the Oscars?
Listen.
Black people who even won Oscars weren't even allowed to come up on stage.
Wait, listen. Look, let's focus on the Grammys. You know Stevie Wonder, right? Stevie Wonder
I'm not
won.
sure I
He
do.
won what's it called? 3 Album of the Year awards within a 4-year period. This was in the 70s. If you are growing up, that is what you're looking at. You're not looking at anybody winning the NAACP awards.
I
That's
think
the
it
truth.
goes beyond what the awards do and more about what the NAACP
Yes.
represented or stands for black people.
Yeah, you're right. So civil rights movement, that's true. But I'm saying musically, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I'm serious. I'm
Some
telling you,
African
nobody
Americans
cares.
would not be happy
No,
to
no,
hear that.
I mean, unfortunately, but yeah, you have to say the truth.
But every awards counts, regardless of every award counts. Right? You're giving to maybe the hard work you've put in, and for me, I don't think that you should try to downgrade or say it's not.
It's
not
not me that's upgrading. It's not
No,
me.
but
They are the ones they are the ones doing it. It's not me. Drake has a song called Grammy Family, I think. These people have, I've
No,
never
I
heard of
understand
them.
what you're trying to say, but it's an
I
award.
mean, we are happy,
yeah.
Sha. We are happy. Congrats to Thames and Wizkid.
Wizkid on the collaboration.
Yeah.
Is it because you said that
Oh
one?
my
It's not me.
goodness. You're listening to Smooth 98.1, and this is the Grapevine. We're talking about everything related to entertainment. We'd love to get your thoughts. The WhatsApp number is 0809 444 0981. And you can also catch the live stream up on YouTube. So just search for Smooth 981. And Oris, James has just
Yeah! Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, everybody. What's happening?
When the noise shows up, James is around.
By the way,
and
I
this guy
don't
has
say
been
this. Oris
beefing.
was happy that you weren't
No,
here.
he's been beefing because that's why he's able to just open his mouth and say, "Oh, it's not." I mean, it's an attachment award. It's Chris Brown song.
true, Sha.
Look,
It is true.
collaboration,
It
the collaboration.
is true.
They both
Sha.
deserve. It's for both of them, not for one person. So it can be your song, whatever, but behind the scenes,
as they say on the
as
streets,
far as politics is
these are
concerned,
Gombodi
the song
awards.
belongs to both of you.
According to the streets, Gombodi awards.
All right, let's talk about movies in Nigeria. Now, we're looking at the top 10 highest grossing Nollywood movies of all time. Okay, so it's very interesting. At the top of this list, you have Battle on Buka Street, and that's got about 640 million naira. And then there's Omogeto, the saga, got 636 million. The Wedding Party, about 452 million. Wow, that's a lot of money, though.
Zibby, it just struck you, right?
It just struck me like, wait, light bulb moment. And King of Thieves is reported to have earned 320 million, and Christmas in Miami is bringing up the rare 265 million naira. How many of these movies have you all seen?
I think I've seen
I
all
don't
of
know.
them.
Idahams, what about you?
I'm gonna get to
Okay, because there's some music in it.
There's some music on the other one, by the way.
Oh,
You know, that's
okay.
kind of how these things work, right? I think what happens is someone succeeds in doing something and they try to do it again. So Funka Kindele did the Omo Ghetto, succeeded, and elements of that, there was, of course, the regular acting, there was some music, and there was some kind of action scenes. So those three elements are in the same movie, are in the next movie she did, which is the Battle on Booker Street. There's like a music kid or whatever. There's, of course, the acting, and there's a bit of action as well. So I'm saying it looks like to succeed is this formula worked. What can we do to have the same thing, a different story, but the same kind of elements or ingredients once again in it? Even the early party, you see, there's part 1 and part 2 on that list. Actually.
Yes.
You know, so
I'm surprised.
Ebony Life did the first one, like it succeeded. Yeah, let's do another one. So there's a formula to, I guess, to
it's
success.
business at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Okay, then there's Chief Daddy as well. Chief Daddy.
That's
is that
also Ebony
also?
Life.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which
I saw
had the
that
very
one.
disastrous. Did you remember? I think that was last year. On the very first day of the year, the sequel was released on Netflix.
Oh.
And there was a big
Backlash.
blowback because it was
I didn't know
not
there was a
very
sequel.
good.
What else?
Well, there you go.
Just-
There you go.
That was
Anyway,
very
yeah,
now.
so
James,
it
I thought you were the nice one.
It now ruined the. I mean, according to.
I don't know if you ruined it, but yeah, but
The
yeah,
legacy
it just
of the first
wasn't.
one.
It's not like the first one was like a classic or anything, you know. But suddenly, this second one was really bad, and yeah,
Wow.
people made it very clear that, you know, this was a very terrible film. It was very popular online actually, so much so that the producer had to
She wasn't happy about it.
give a statement about it. Yeah, it was.
Oh, I
that bad.
remember that.
Oh, now I remember that.
Yes,
right?
I remember
Exactly.
that. I didn't remember.
So that's what happened. Yeah, so that's exactly what happened. Yeah, it was such a huge. Yeah, I don't
Wow.
know.
Is criticism easy to take when you're a filmmaker? Because, you know, a lot of
It's
filmmakers.
even, no matter what it is you are, it's hard to take. I'm here, and there's Xavier who is always trying to poke me on whatever, and I'm like,
Hi, Xavier.
exactly. So I'm saying, yeah, and I'm just on radio. Nobody sees my face, you know. So
Not if they're watching the live stream.
yeah, that's true, you know, exactly. So, and this is like, oh, what is this guy saying again? You get. So I think it's never easy to take criticism, but
Wow.
it's also, I think, because of course it's kind of my business, it's kind of necessary, I believe.
All right, Idahams, what do you think about criticism, particularly when it comes to your music?
No, it helps. Like, you know,
When they say, well, Chris, for doing this thing, you know,
no,
that
like,
doesn't help, does
it's
it?
like, it makes you, you know, sit back, relax, and you know,
Rethink.
yeah, sit back, relax, and you know, work on your craft, and you know, bring out the best. out of
But
you.
sometimes, have you had criticism that hurt you?
Of course, it's hard. Like, no doubt. Like, I'm a human being. Okay,
Exactly.
you tell me something. Okay, but there's some person that don't like you. They just want to
Exactly.
say
So,
things
how?
that-
Yeah, but how can you tell the
But
difference?
there's a discernment. Like, I know when you're telling me things that okay. I see. I
Okay.
get, like, I ask you why did you okay why then. But if you're just telling me that this is not good.
And there's nothing
And
constructive.
then you're not trying to give me any reason why it's actually bad. And then I say
This is
you don't get bad
hateration.
belly.
All right, well, let's take a break and we'll continue the conversation. This is The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1.
Fly, silky smooth.
Then what's the story? Why are you so early?
Oh, well, after I feel, I said, look, I want to talk about related not how to buy.
Did you succeed?
Yeah, Afrobeat.
Where?
Oh, okay, no, right.
Yeah, no.
I missed that by
Okay, nice.
I missed it. I wanted to say the message saying one. I missed that thing. But
Oh,
yes, I missed that.
So,
because
did you have
I
pick
had
one
to
or what?
book a new one entirely. So I lost
When is this one?
16th of March.
You shall not go forget.
What's it?
Or make I remind
Put
you.
my bag. Come and take it now. Are we live? You don't want to talk? Don't call you too. Okay, here you go.
You just said, oh my god! You just said it out loud, James.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my
fair
goodness.
enough.
Oh wow.
Shall not forget.
So now I can take my bag to that side now. If I tell them I have $2,000 in that bag, what will you say?
$2,000 is not as valuable as 2,000 naira now.
That is so true.
I know, but I will not take dollars.
Look on, man. To find 2,000 naira, man, you do like this.
What are we doing today?
songs, like 2 or 3 of songs you've done.
Is it?
I need the titles of your songs, maybe 2 or 3.
Always.
Bad girl.
Why does her
Hey, man, that's the first one you remember.
Wait,
Batman, remember
wait,
Batman?
no good.
Waiting no good.
That's a new one. That's a new
Oh,
one.
so this is a new one. Okay.
Waiting no good.
Okay, that's
Well,
fine.
it's just an album. Like just
How is
2
it
months
3?
ago.
How is
What
it
was that
3?
album?
Yeah, 2 is fine.
He said
You
3.
don't want the
He
album.
gave me 2, I'm fine with
Zibby,
2.
you don't
I
want the
give
album
me the third
title.
one.
Zibby, you don't want the title.
The
The
title
album.
of
That's
the
the
What's the
album.
title of the album?
Truth, Love, and Confession.
Truth, Love, and Confessions.
TLC.
Yes, of course.
That's
You're not
TLC.
playing
All
music.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, his manager, you're very efficient.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Yeah, we're playing.
We're going on. Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. 8:34, this is The Grapevine. It's Zibby, and I've got a very full house. I've got James and Oris of
Yeah.
and Idahams. Idahams is an artist who actually has a new album out.
It's not new.
Okay, slightly
new.
Like few months.
Wait, is a few months not regarded as new anymore?
In today's world, do the album like yesterday, another single today, the
yeah.
next single next tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? Before you leave Idahams, you have to give us a live studio performance. Maybe not live on air, but yeah, you have to give us a performance. Yeah. So promise.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, if not, we'll hold you hostage in here. Okay, so let's talk about entertainment. Now, Snoop Dogg's daughter, Corey Brothers, has opened up about kidney biopsy that she had to have and her lupus battle as well. Now, she's a singer. I believe we have some music from her. She sounds amazing. She recently got engaged as well. And her father, I think he loves her partner because he was happily posting the pictures. But what do you think about this thing, like where you have a parent that's very famous and successful, and somehow it feels like there's a lot of pressure on you to live up to what that family member has done?
Well, I think it's yeah, it can be really hard. I think, I believe, you know, maybe a little bit too much. And I always think that if the father was, or the phobia was, I mean, think about it. Imagine what kind of pressure when she's of age, and if she decides to go into music, a kid like Ivy, Beyonce's and Jay-Z's daughter.
Right.
That's like an incredible amount of. I mean, there's the good part. There's a good part, of course. You know, it makes your life a whole lot easier. But psychologically, it has to be very difficult because there is no way you are going to escape comparison. It's just not possible. You know, and if you are not quite as in quote talented or successful as your parents were, then I think it takes a toll on mental health.
Right.
Yeah.
Mental health, no.
No, yeah,
So I mean, bringing it
certainly.
back to, I mean, here, look at Seun Kuti.
See some of the comments that were said actually
You
when
know,
they had that
about,
thing with
about
P-Square,
about
with
him and then Peter. So it can be very, very challenging wanting to fit into your father's shoe. And I just sometimes I feel like maybe there's no need trying to, but I think the society as well, the way people just turn out, react to that kind of situation, which is like, after Bob Marley, I know there's Steve Marley, there's
Ziggy.
but they are just biting.
Damien.
Nobody takes it, and it's not as heavy as Bob Marley. They may not
You want
get
to
to that point.
She looks like
You want to disagree? Feel free.
I
but
think Damien is the closest.
it'll
I
be
think he has a few
Stephen
Grammys.
Stephen has the most Grammys of all the Marley children.
Wait,
And
which
he
one has?
produces all their songs.
Stephen.
The slightly chubby one, his son
Steve
passed
Marley.
away in
Yeah,
December.
but I think Damien
so, but you
actually
see,
has.
even where you
Damien has.
you are able to identify or acknowledge the fact that he has won a couple of Grammys, but you see the name
He's
is
won
not
like
as
7
heavy.
or 8 though.
Yeah, you see, nobody. Yeah, okay. How many Grammys? Okay, it's fine, but
I'm
it's not
shocked
as
to hear
heavy
that.
and iconic as
His
Bob Marley,
father,
you
yeah.
understand? So
So despite the amazing achievements, when he's up with his father, it's like there's no comparison.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem. It's better if your father was like maybe only slightly successful, you know, and then you don't have a huge thing to like leap over.
Right.
But when your father is Bob Marley, your father is Michael Jackson, your father
Yeah.
is Jay-Z, your father is Beyonce.
I want to
the
sing
Trump-
the
Trump-
song now.
There's
Sing,
so much,
sing
and,
song,
and let's
let's hear.
and let's
It'll be
remember,
difficult.
especially for people who are entertainment, especially like maybe in the movies and in music, there is the fact that the system has become very fragmented. So it means that today you can have somebody who is super successful on Netflix.
Right.
You get people know him because he's on a bunch of Netflix programs, but maybe he's never really been successful in the big screen.
That's
Back
true.
in the day, there was just a single place,
That is true.
big screen. If you had a film like even just in 2009 here with Avatar, just that whole big James Cameron had that whole big film. If you were successful with something like that, everybody knew
That is true.
who you were. But now it's entirely possible that people just know you because you're on one particular show somewhere on YouTube. You get? And there are people who are not on YouTube have no idea of your existence.
That is true.
So it means that so it means there's a lot of work for you to now do. Or people who, for instance, maybe they're successful on radio, not on Spotify. People are successful on Spotify with billion streams, and nobody knows them offline. You know?
Yes, no.
All of these things
And
are
on
just
podcasts
so
as well.
suddenly it's become so difficult to like be the person who is known across
all
of these
platforms.
platforms. You know.
You
So
have to
yeah,
be
so there's the fact
super-
of talent, but also
Yeah.
the fact of like technology as well. You know how that affects how much you are received by the populace. So yeah, really tricky stuff now.
So sometimes when they say, "Oh, you shall be greater than your father," sometimes it's in
You're like hopefully,
Just-
You
hopefully,
should do
Just
more than-
saying.
hopefully, you know. But yeah, it's really
Idahams,
difficult.
do you have music in your genes, your DNA?
My dad.
Oh.
In fact, he was the one that taught me how to play the keys, like keyboard.
Oh wow.
He used to be on High Life. He's late though.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, he taught me how to, sing on keys, play the piano.
Highlight. So does it mean like sometimes you have that Rex Jim Lawson flavor
Yeah,
going on?
yeah. The Osadibi,
Yes.
But Rex Jim Lutton is his favorite. because of,
Oh, awesome,
because
awesome.
the bunny man.
Yeah, he's a
He
rivers
was,
man.
yeah, he's
a river man,
rivers.
so-
But I think he was loved all
Yeah,
across.
of
course.
course.
Just saying.
Okay, so let's talk about biopics. So we've had biopics that have been very successful. King Richard with Will Smith slapping Chris and then winning the Oscar. And then we had Ray with Ray Charles winning an Oscar. We had
Jimmy Fox,
Ali.
Jimmy Fox.
Oh, sorry, thank you,
Jimmy
Jimmy Fox, thank you. And then we had Ali where Will Smith was nominated,
Yeah,
didn't win the
yeah.
Oscar, didn't slap anyone. Okay, so Gabrielle Union says that she would like some artists, and she included names of people like Janet Jackson and Ashanti to play her in a biopic. What do you think about that?
I think that's always an interesting thing, you know, when artists are trying to figure out who. I mean, if they're asked, who do they think will play them? I feel like Janet Jackson though. So weird. How is Janet supposed to play Gabrielle?
She wear a cheerleading uniform. I mean, that's her biggest role, isn't it?
So
Yeah,
are you
I
looking at
just
the
understand
of
how.
age?
In terms of age, in terms of size, you know, I feel like the only way to get away with it is just maybe the face, and that's like the face from years ago. It just doesn't seem like.
Right
I'm
now.
serious. It just doesn't seem like right now.
Or maybe
It's a thing
makeup
that,
might-
and when they'll be
makeup
ready
might
with
work.
something like this, it's probably because Gabrielle is still somewhat in her prime or her peak or
I don't know.
something.
Has she actually
So-
gotten there yet, Gabrielle,
Gabrielle.
as an actress? though?
Unfortunately, you know, there is this thing. I think last
Is this
year.
the social media
was it-
relevance?
No, you know, it's something they call black famous. You know,
Oh.
you are famous
Yes.
within this.
NAACP
Exactly.
famous.
Exactly, you know, you are famous on all of those stuff, but you know, you don't cross over. That's why people don't understand how massive it was for Kanye to become Kanye. The people don't understand how much, you know, that kind of willpower. Like you say, you know what, I do not only want to be somebody who is in this particular region, and to be honest, to be successful in the US, to be actually successful is to appeal to white people. You can look at it any way you want to look at it, but that is the
No, I agree.
truth. You have to figure out a way to appeal to them. And so for some reason, over the years, even if we, of course, over here in Nigeria, saw a bunch of our films, the truth of the matter is a lot of the people who, in quotes, matter in entertainment scene, didn't actually feature Gabrielle in some of their mainstream movies. So she never did crossover. Only a few of them. Maybe only, what's his name? There's a guy. Not even Morris Chestnut, not even Ty Diggs. It's just maybe Terrence Howard actually was the one who was close, and then he had that
Terrence,
problem
okay.
with Marvel,
Oh,
and then he got kicked out of the Iron Man
yeah,
franchise.
yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
But he was the one who seemed to have been trying to get there. So suddenly it seems like maybe it's this guy, Don Cheadle, who now
Don
nobody even
Cheadle.
quite know where exactly. I've not seen him
He's
in a
an
while.
Oscar nominated
Age-
actor.
age
Exactly.
and
So
time, I
yeah, so
guess.
there's this whole thing. So that's the thing with Gabrielle. Yeah, she just never crossed over. So it looks like if she's thinking of people to play her, it's people because all the people she mentioned, none of them is really a mainstream star. Maybe minus Janet, and that's back in the day. So anyway, that's kind of it is true. It is
By
true.
the way, if you do not hear from Oris a few minutes after the show, let's just say someone might have strangled him, and it's not me.
But why what do you have against what I just said?
Disagree,
Yeah, dude, tell me what the issue is.
Okay, so
Ashanti is not mainstream.
Ashanti is
She has
she
2
had
years,
a
3
very
years.
she had a very
That's it.
good run,
Exactly.
right? But I think Gabrielle even thinking that Janet could play her is a disrespectful thing
No,
to
no, no,
even
no.
think about.
Wait, before you
no,
jump
that's
to
not
that
fair.
conclusion,
Yes.
That's not fair.
maybe we will need to hear from Janet. Janet might not be offended.
Oh, no,
It'll be
Janet will
honor-
be offended.
it'll be
Janet will be
honor
like,
to-
this girl has
You are supposed to be playing
Let's go.
me, not me
Sorry.
playing you, right?
I mean, girl, dream on. Maybe she can get some of these Instagram models to play her. It would work. But
Maybe
you
one of the
cannot
real
get-
housewives.
Maybe one that's desperate enough. Okay, I've got a message. Daisy says, "Sorry, Gabriel. What do we need to know about you that you want to biofill?"
Ouch, no, but this is not fair. I think they
Definitely
asked her. It's not like she said it. Somebody asked her actually. So please.
This is why you
It's
should
not
be
Gabriel.
careful about the kind of questions you answer. By the way,
Yes,
Dan,
sir.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I hope this is one you can answer.
Mm.
If someone is going to play you in a biopic here in Nigeria, who would you like to play you?
Aha, this is a very good question. I'm really interested in hearing the answer to this.
Whiskey, say it.
but,
What's there? Fear
but for me to like gather that streams and people attention, I think I should pick someone that is bigger than me, so that's maybe I think that's what she's trying to do. I mean, Gabriel would help. So
Yeah, so answer your own. Give us a name, please. Or names.
maybe Whiskey, Butterboy.
Thank you.
These are not actors.
They're not actors.
These are not actors.
I'm just saying, like I'm not an actor as well. I'm a musician.
That's what I'm saying. So if you want an actor, to
Okay,
play-
Okay,
If-
Juliet Doce. Give me names.
after all, he was playing. What's his name?
Peter
Charles
Okafor.
Okafor.
Oh, man.
I think
Charles Okafor.
not
Charles Okafor is like
Charles-
50
no,
or
Charles-
60 years
Oh my
old.
God, James is
Charles.
trolling. James is just. Can't think of one person really. Ramsey Noah.
That would be.
Jamaica.
Ah.
Yes. I like that. So you've got a bit of Jamaica,
Yeah.
everything, the
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Jamaica.
All right, let's hear what Jamaica has to say about this.
Shall I call him?
No.
I'm not sure he's going to say something kind right away.
Okay, so we have just about 30 seconds to go, but there are new pictures that show that, or maybe might be hinting that Nelly and Ashanti might be spending time in each other's company now. Nelly had this
Again?
jewelry on, yes, and then
Just again.
later there's a picture of Ashanti wearing the exact same jewelry. I mean, they had a 10-year relationship back in the day.
Was it 10?
Yeah,
Was that
although
long?
it was that long.
That's what broke I've got his heart.
I've got
Oh yeah, he's still in so much pain,
Yeah,
even though he's a
that's not
married
fair.
man.
That's not fair. He addressed the issue. I don't think it's a thing. You should leave that man alone.
So, would you care if they got back together?
Anything can
Of
happen.
course, it's,
We don't.
People
life.
break up, people make up. So.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening. But good luck to them.
Is it weird? I'm really hoping that it happens.
Why?
I don't know. They were so cute together, and they look even cuter now.
Why were they cute? They
I
were once on
have-
the record. Like, they were not in public with this man.
That's
Like
true.
that.
They weren't. He didn't
Just saw their
officially.
song,
Yeah.
I mean, their music video and stuff.
No,
and-
but they were friends. They were hanging out.
Of course they
but
were.
No,
they
but we
never
knew,
really.
but we knew they were actually dating.
Wow.
That Body on Me song was the confirmation in the public.
Did
eye.
you see them perform that song last year on stage?
I
The
did.
chemistry was. It's kind of like the same chemistry that Nelly had with Kelly Rowland and Idahams. And I'm still hoping deep down somewhere they get together, even though Kelly's married.
Zibby is just
Wow.
a romantic. That's what
Maybe
they
I
say.
am.
Just hopeless
Ah,
romantic.
super.
What you
Do you
are.
watch Big Brother?
Exactly.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Exactly. You'll be the person who's
That'd be
shaping
a
everybody.
good place for you
every
to
week.
actually explore, you know.
All right. Well, that is all the time that we have. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your messages. Thank you, James. Thank
showing
you,
up late.
Oris.
Thank you for having
Oh,
us.
why did you have to do that to
I
me?
said it. I
But
said it. I said
my
it.
people still love me. They know that
I
they are
said
even
it.
very happy that I showed up eventually.
And special thanks to Idahams, the guest artist on the show this morning. And by the way, Idahams is going to be giving us a little performance. So you want to keep an eye out on our social media pages because you will see a little video of that. So we'll be your...
What is the name of the new Idahams song?
Yes.
Waiting no good.
Waiting no
It's
good.
on all digital platforms, so we'll check it out.
All right, we'll check it out. Waiting No Good. That's the new song from Idahams. The album is Truth, Love, and Confessions.
Yeah.
I want to hear some of your confessions.
Listen to the album.
Listen to the album.
All right. Well, that's all the time that we have. James, Oris.
Yeah!
All right.
Thank you for having us. James Silas is James Silas on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. We have a podcast, well, actually a YouTube channel, myself and Oris, called The James and Oris Show. You can check it out. We are cool people,
Very cool.
and nobody stops us.
Podcast.
Nobody stops us
Zibby
after
doesn't
30.
bully us out of.
Nobody stops after 30 minutes. So take notes.
Podcast is what I
And the good one here. All right. Well, thank you for coming. Thanks for listening. Do stay with us.
Thanks
Lagos
for
Talk
having us.
starts up in just a few from 9 o'clock.
Grapevine on the Smooth